Now, a lot of y'all are going to get mad at me just because of the title, especially those who like Nintendo or Nintendo fanboys or people, who are Nintendrones, whatever. Anyway, what I want to talk about is Nintendo and how it's an evil corporation. I think they rip people off, and fanboys still fail to realize that. Now, if you're not going to watch this video and you're a fan, just don't watch it. Please don't dislike unless you actually watch it. I actually want you to watch it before you explain something to me. Like, if you don't, then you're just an ass hurt fan. Period. Just listen to me before you say something. And I'm not going to say everything is bad about Nintendo. Alright? But let's get started then. Why do I think that Nintendo is greedy as well? It's like I said before. Nintendo copies as well as Sony, Microsoft, Apple, Google, whoever. They all copy. It's called business. You gotta find ways to make money. It's a proven fact. Every company does it. Some do it more than others, but every company still does it. It's still copying. You see? So stop saying they don't, because they do. That's the argument ended right there. Now, here's what I'm going to say though with Nintendo. Now, here's how they rip people off. Think about the Wii. Alright? The Wii, it's a nice device. Now, this is not going to be a copy. It's going to be more of some hardware issues that I think that they have. The sensor bar. Like, why would you have the sensor outside of the device? You know what I'm saying? Outside of the console. I think it should have been built inside the console, not an extra cord going out to find a sensor bar. You see what I'm saying? And plus, that sensor bar's wire is thin. It's like 24 American gauge wire. It's probably wire that you'll see in a thermostat. That's too thin. I've actually seen somebody break one of those, and replacing them is a bitch. Like, you can get them online. At one time, you couldn't even get them at the store, like at GameStop or anything like that. They said they never sold those separate. You would have to buy a whole new Wii. I don't know if they was trying to rip us off or if that's how they did it. You see, if that was the way that they did it, then that's a rip-off. You see? Well, why wouldn't they build this into the device? Plus, you gotta keep buying batteries for these, unless they got rechargeable batteries. Now, if they don't, then yeah, that's a rip-off right there. You gotta buy all these AA batteries. Although they do last longer nowadays. But still though, who wants to buy AA batteries all the time? You see? Now, another thing that I could think of with Nintendo, like the content. Like, yeah, everybody wants to talk about gameplay and how gameplay is good on these games. And it's true. The gameplay is great. But I'm kind of sick of seeing the same storyline. You know, Mario, Zelda, great games. Remember, I said they're great games. I'm not hating. But don't you want to see a different storyline? That's something I'm just asking y'all, guys. Don't you want to see somebody else shine on Nintendo besides just Mario and Zelda? What about having Pokemon get on there or something like that? That's something I'm just asking y'all. Or don't you want the storylines, different when it's an adventure Mario? Now, I will admit, Super Smash Bros. Was a great game. I actually was addicted to it, so, I'm not hating on Nintendo. I used to like Super Smash Bros. I used to like their stuff. But these are just questions I want to throw out there. And speaking of this, too, graphics. Like, I feel as though Nintendo's been out longer than the consoles that are out now, like the PlayStation, the Xbox. Don't you think that Nintendo should be on par with the PS3 graphics and 360 graphics, if not better, or just a little bit worse? But I think they should be close to that range. I feel as though Nintendo is holding back on things. Now, I know they say that it costs some money to put in all this hardware, and that is probably the only reason why their graphics is behind. But I'm pretty sure Nintendo got the money to put the graphics into these devices. I mean, they don't make Blu-ray players or CD players into these devices, so how could it still be expensive? You see what I mean? It wouldn't hurt their sales all like that. I feel as though they should have did it. You see, I think the graphics should be better. Now, with the Wii U, we're hoping that comes out. That would be better, right? And another thing is this: the development. Like, the first party developments on the Wii is good, you know, like Mario, games like that, Pokemon. Those are good, but what about third party titles? Games like Call of Duty, NBA, Madden, stuff like that. They gotta appeal to the general public. They need games like that. And online service too. Like, if Nintendo had a better online service, I bet you I would actually want to buy their products a lot more. You see? It's not good with online. The graphics is not that great. You know, I want to do online gaming. That's what most people do today. You know, we're stepping into the future with that. So, why is Nintendo holding back? I know they can do something with this. And then another thing with the DS and the 3DS. Like, now that the 3DS came out, like, I've been hearing that people can't. I mean, when they have a regular DS game and you put it into the 3DS, that can't turn 3D. Like, what the fuck? It should have been able to do that. I feel like that's been held back. You see, I feel as though as a person paying for this device, you know, the 3DS, and then the game, I think it should have been upscaled up to 3D. I mean, can't you agree with me on that? I think those games should be 3D. I mean, it's the same device almost, except you got an analog stick now, and you could do 3D imaging. You see, they should have definitely did the 3D for the regular DS games. Why didn't they do that? I mean, you think about it. Think about it like this: you could play a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 on a regular HD TV, and then if you put it to a 3D TV, you'll see it in 3D. You see what I'm saying? Why can't the DS do that with their games? They should have been able to do it. I bet you it was something real easy to do. You see? I feel as though they should have did something like that. Why didn't they? Now you tell me that your company ain't holding back on you. Now you tell me that Nintendo is all good. I feel as though them as a company held back on you as fans. I don't like seeing people getting ripped off. I feel as though Nintendo does that. Like I said, every company does it. But mainly I wanted to focus on Nintendo just because, you know, you think your system's all perfect and it really isn't at all. I'm just proving everything right here that your system really isn't all that great. And what about these third-party titles that are going to be on the Wii U? Are they going to be good? I hope they be good. You see, it's going to be so hard to develop, and people want online service too. You see, I'm just hoping that Nintendo makes their online better. They make better graphics. And I will actually say that they will become the best system out. But anyways, those were my thoughts for today. I'm Dre Bone 777 and I'm out. Peace.